Hi, and welcome to my week 10 assignment. This week we discussed Picasso and his art history, as well as some other artists who also helped create some inventions that helped speed up the process of growing and evolving in art during this time period. So the first thing we talked about was the kinetoscope. This was created by Edison. The kinetoscope was something that you looked into to see images. This was described to do for the eye what the phonograph had done for the ear. We talked about how aviation and motion picture related. That's because they were both known to annihilate time and space. Um, Next, we talked about what it was that photography was instantaneous. This was essentially because you could see something with a photo that you couldn't see with your naked eye. It was also to make motion pictures occur to people as well as recreate and synthesize these images. We talked a little bit about Picasso and his history, especially as he was growing up. We discussed that Picasso was 15 years old when he first saw a motion picture. He saw The Charge of the 17 French Soldiers and then created a painting based off of the movie. For a while, it was thought that film could never be an art form because it was simply a machine. Nothing was actually being drawn or created using artistic artistic qualities or imagination to create a picture. It was just a machine that captured an image. Next, we discussed about we were talking about why a film was a whole new way of seeing. This is because it was an entire new way to see moving images. Recording motion was a whole new theory at this time, and it had never existed prior. So next we discussed Loy Fuller. We talked about her dance performance, which was the Serpentine dance. She related dancing to sculpture because of the changing of positioning. She described herself as a moving sculpture. This was especially enhanced because of the cloth that was attached to her dress. During this performance, there was also flashing lights that were utilized, as well as changing colored lights to help enhance the performance. We talked about how the edge of a cubist painting relates to a motion picture. That's because it was thinned out at the edges and related to a motion picture because of the thinness quality as well. We talked about how, and then a strange thing happened, that phrase, kind of what that means. We talked about how conveying strange things that are happening in film needs to be portrayed in a way that the viewer would understand what's going on in that moment. And then we also talked about the environment of early theater, which was a lot of acting, joke telling, and performance. It was essentially a central place for people to meet up and see the most up and coming films.